Good morning, everybody watching online. I'm going to pray us in. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity to be up here and speak your word. Thank you for everybody in this room. I ask that you be with me. Let me speak your words, not my own. Just be with me, Lord. I need you. In Jesus' name, amen. So we're going to be in 1 Samuel 17, talking about Goliath, David and Goliath. So the Philistines now mustered their army for battle and camped between Scott in Judah and Isaac. Saul countered by gathering his Israelites troops near the valley of Elah. So the Philistines and Israelites faced each other on opposite hills with the valley between them. Then Goliath, a Philistine champion from Gath, came out from the Philistine ranks to face the forces of Israel. He was over 9 feet tall. He wore a bronze helmet, and his bronze coat of mail weighed 125 pounds. He also wore bronze legging armor. He carried a bronze javelin on his shoulder. The shaft of his spear was heavy and as thick as a weaver's beam, tipped with an iron spearhead that weighed 15 pounds. His armor bearer walked ahead of him carrying a shield. Goliath stood and shouted a taunt across the Israelites. So we got this giant that's like taunting his people, taunting his enemies, you know what I mean? Just intimidating them, you know what I'm saying? And I know that I've been intimidated in the past over things, giants that I'm facing, you know what I'm saying? Depression, anxiety, addiction, which would probably be the root of all of that. And I just let it get me down, you know what I mean? You can't let you can't let your enemy or your giant intimidate you. You got to face it, you know what I mean? It's not always easy, but it's the right thing to do. It's how you get through it, you know what I mean? So, yeah. He said, I am the Philistine champion, but you are only the servants of Saul. Choose one man to come down here and fight me. If he kills me, then we will be your slaves. But if I kill him, you will be our slaves. I defy the armies of Israel today. Send me a man who will fight me. When Saul and the Israelites heard this, they were terrified and deeply shaken. So, he's got this whole army shook. You know what I mean? This big old dude. One man's shaking his whole army. It's crazy, too, because Saul's got this whole military. I don't know how many people it was. It was a whole army posted up on this side of the hill. And just one, he's big, but out of the whole army, not one man is able to go and face this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But anyway, now David was the son of a man named Jesse, or just something like that. Yeah. And Ephraimite from Bethlehem in the land of Judah, where Jesse was an old man at that time. And he had 8 sons. Jesse's 3 oldest sons, I can't pronounce their names, had already joined Saul's army to fight the Philistines. So, this guy's got all these sons, and you would think they'd all have a little bravery in them, but none of them do besides David, the least likely one. David was the youngest son. David's 3 oldest brothers stayed with Saul's army, but David went back and forth so he could help his father with the sheep in Bethlehem. So David's this little guy, man, a little shepherd guy or whatever, just running errands, taking care of sheep, blah, blah, just somebody you wouldn't expect to face a giant. You know what I mean? It's always just the least likely. Went back and forth so he could help his father. For 40 days, every morning and evening, the Philistine champion strutted in front of them, taunting them, Israelites. One day, Jess said to David, take this basket of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread and carry them quickly to your brothers, and give these 10 cuts of cheese to the captain. Bring back a report on how they are doing. So David's, he's getting packed up with all this food and whatever, and he's getting ready to go take his brothers some food, some SC, just check on them, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if David wasn't planning on going up there to fight, you know what I'm saying? But he did. When do we ever plan to fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we don't plan on facing our body, you know what I mean? We don't think about it. Like, when we're faced with something, our first intentions is to turn and run, I guess, or you know what I'm saying, use drugs to get over it. You know what I'm saying? We don't just face it head on like we should. You know what I mean? That's how you grow from that, man. Face your fears. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, being up here, this is a big one. uh, so I'm going to skip a few verses here. The Philistine champion from God came in. As soon as the Israelites' army saw him, okay, you're talking about Goliath here. As soon as the Israelite army saw him, they began to run away in fright. Have you seen the giant? The man asked. He comes out each day to defile Israel. The king has offered a huge reward to anyone who kills him. He will give that man one of his daughters for a wife, and the man's entire family will be exempt from paying taxes. So David asked the soldiers, that got his attention, hey, a wife, no more taxes, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, hey, what's up with this guy? I mean, do I need to go take care of him? David asked the soldiers standing nearby, what will the man get for killing the Philistines and in the defense of Israel? Who is this pagan Philistine anyway that he is allowed to defy the armies of the living God? So David wasn't having him talking about his God, you know what I mean? Which is good. We should all be like that. He had full confidence in God, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't worried about the Philistine. He done battled with some other stuff that, you know what I mean, we're just going to get to that. But yeah, he just wasn't worried about this guy because he knew he had God on his side, and he wasn't having him talk about him, you know what I'm saying? So, and these men gave David the same reply. They said, yes, this is the reward. So, but when David's oldest brother, Eliab, heard David talking to the men, he was angry. What are you doing around here anyway? He demanded. So I feel like his brother was, getting jealous because here he is probably, I don't know, but I'd say he's probably bigger. He's a man of war. He's probably been trained, armored up, all this. Then his brother comes out here with a slingshot and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, man, what are you doing? Because his brother's got the guts to go and stand up to this guy, and he don't. He's already questioning, man, what do I need to do to get over there? You know what I'm saying? Let me at him, you know what I mean? And his brothers are like, man, what are you doing? They're getting jealous, I feel like. People will do that too, man. If they see you doing something they can't do or too scared to do, they'll hate on you. You know what I mean? People will hate on you for sure. He said, I know about your pride and dissent. You just want to see the battle. I don't really think David was prideful, man. I mean, he was confident, yeah, but he wasn't just running around boasting about it. You know what I'm saying? He was just confident in himself. He knew he had the Lord on his side, so, I mean, what's there to fear? You know what I mean? He said, I only asked a question. He walked over to the others and asked them the same thing, okay. So now David's like, don't worry about this Philistine, David told Saul, which is the king. I'll go fight him. The king's like, don't be ridiculous, Saul. Saul replied, there's no way you can fight this Philistine and possibly win. You're only a boy, and he's a man of war since his youth. But David persisted. I've been taking care of my father's sheep and goats, he said. When a lion or a bear comes to steal a lamb from the flock, I go after it with a club and rescue the lamb from its mouth. If an animal turns on me, I catch it by the jaws and club it to death. So David I feel like, man, the Lord had already been putting David through tests and like preparing him for this moment, even before this war started or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's already had him out here in the fields fighting off these lions and bears and stuff, which is crazy. But yeah, so the Lord was preparing him for this. Like, and in our lives, I feel like everything we go through, it's preparing you for the next step. Everything, you know what I'm saying? Like everything I did before I got here, I feel like the Lord was, prepping me, getting me ready for this. And then I get here and he's continuing to prep me, for when I go back out there, I can take on what I've been dealing with, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, everything that we go through, man, it's preparation for sure. Saul finally gives in to him. He says, okay, you can go fight this guy if that's what you want to do, I mean, may the Lord be with, he says, may the Lord be with you, which he already was. David already knew that, but Saul blessed him anyway, you know what I'm saying? So then Saul gave David this armor, a bronze helmet, a coat of mail. David put it on, strapped a sword over it, and took a step or two to see what it was like, for he had never worn such a thing before. I can't go in these, he protested to Saul. I'm not used to them. So David took them off. He picked up 5 smooth stones from a stream and put them in his shepherd's bag. Then, armed only with a shepherd's staff, sling, he started across the valley to fight the Philistines. So he didn't need all the armor that the Philistine had on and the armor barrier and stuff. He had the full armor of God on. You know what I'm saying? So he was good. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's going over across this valley to get ready to fight this Philistine. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing. He's got his little robe on or whatever they was wearing, and a slingshot and a couple of rocks. You know what I mean? And then you got this 9-foot guy. You can only imagine. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6 foot, so he's way up here. You know what I mean? But no problems, no hesitation. He was confident. You know what I mean? He's ready to take this dude down. As Goliath moved closer to attack, David quickly ran out to meet him. Reaching into his shepherd's bag and taking out a stone, he hurled it with a sling and hit the Philistine in the forehead. The stone sank in, and Goliath stumbled and fell face down on the ground. So David tramped over to the Philistine with only a sling and a stone, for he had no sword. Then David ran over, pulled Goliath's sword from his scabbard or whatever. David used it to kill him and cut off his head. So when David got to this problem, he took his problem down. He didn't kill it right away, but he got it to where he could handle it. You know what I mean? And then he took the problem off at the head. He just done away with the problem completely. That's what we should do. You know what I mean? We get a grip like on addiction. For me, in addiction, if I can ever get my grip on it, once I get it to where I can handle it, then I need to just cut its head off. You know what I'm saying? That way I don't go back to it. It's over with. You know? Yeah, so that's what he did. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they turned and ran. So they didn't have nobody backing them up no more. You know, they had this one big dude out of their whole army that they was relying on. You know, so they put all their faith in this big old giant, and they didn't have him no more, so they took off. Then the men of Israel gave a shout of triumph and rushed after the Philistines, chasing them as far as Gath and the gates of Ekron. The bodies of the dead and wounded Philistines were strewn all along the road of Sharon as far as Gath and Ekron. I can't pronounce some words. Then the Israelites' armies returned and plundered the deserted Philistines' camp. David took the Philistines' head to Jerusalem, but he stored the man's armor in his own tent. So he got this man's head as a trophy, you know what I mean? Hey, look, I guess he wanted to show the king, you know, I got him. And he took the armor, I guess, as a personal souvenir, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he couldn't wear it, of course, but yeah. As Saul watched David go out to fight the Philistine, he asked her, who is this? I don't really know. The king told him. So the king wants to know who this guy is. David, this little young boy, kid, whatever he is. Who is he? And he asked his commander this. The commander's like, I don't know. He's like, find out. Because he knows there's something special about him. You know what I mean? This guy's got full confidence in the Lord. He ain't scared to face his giants. You know what I'm saying? He's ready for whatever. So I feel like that's what we need to be like. I know I do. You know, I'm trying to build confidence. That's a big thing for me. Confidence, depression, and anxiety. All three of those are big issues that I'm facing. You know, so this is a pretty good story for me to read over and over. You know what I mean? Just yeah. As soon as David returned from killing Goliath and brought him to Saul with the Philistines, tell me about your father and we live in Bethlehem. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got. Just let's be like David. You know what I mean? Let's face our giants, man, regardless of what they are. Just come on full force, full confidence. Don't hesitate, because that's where you mess up, when you hesitate. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed that a lot. You know I could do something, then I get ready to go do it, and then I doubt myself, and that's when I screw up. You know what I mean? If I just go in there with the full mindset that I got this, it usually works out better. You know. So, yeah, that's what I got for y'all this morning. Dalton, you want to pray us out?